So now that we've reviewed some of the essential elements in a knife, especially a liner locked folding knife, let's start designing. Hope you guys have pencils and papers ready because we're going to start making some drawings. And I've got my trusty drawing board. And basically, I start all of my knives with a drawing, with a pencil. I use sometimes graph paper, sometimes not graph paper, but just have fun. Just have fun drawing and coming up with designs and shapes and what you think would be comfortable in your hand and hopefully not too much like anybody else's knife, but something of your own, something that satisfies you in terms of design and what you think would be comfortable and functional and something you'd be proud to carry in your pocket. So if you're going to be designing a knife, that's the way we start. Just sketching, lines, whatever you think might work out. Now the way I work is I do a design, come up with a design that I like, make sure it fits in terms of size and so forth, and I make a copy of it. This is the original of the ATCF. And I drew this with my 4-inch blade that I was looking for, and 4 3/4 inch handle, 5 and a little bit maybe, but I boiled it down to 4 3/4, and it works out very nicely. There's only one hard and fast rule that you have to follow. Generally, when you're sketching and designing and drawing, there are no rules. You can make whatever you want. Big blade, small blade, big handle, small handle, tanto, spear point, Warncliffe, whatever you want, whatever looks good. But there is only one rule to follow in terms of the design, and that is that the distance between the center of the pivot and the point of the knife has to fit within the handle from the center of the pivot to the back of the knife. This way, when the blade is closed, swinging around, it's shrouded by the rear end of the handle. That's the only rule you've got to follow, and the only one that really makes any kind of sense. So once you've got a drawing of a knife that you like, that fits well, the handle is the right size compared to the blade is the shape you like, make 2 copies. And I'm going to show you why we make 2 copies. First of all, I want to save this. I don't want to ruin it. So this gets put into the safety file. And I make 2 photocopies, both of them exactly the same, of the original. And I take my trusty scissors and I cut out, first of all, the blade. You don't have to be accurate, doesn't have to be really clean, just get the blade out of the paper. So I'm cutting out the shape of the blade. It's like something out of Mr. Rogers. You'd find something like this on children's Sesame Seat television. So now I have the whole blade without the handle. This is now garbage. Next operation, use the scissors to cut out the handle part. And these drawings are going to become patterns. And these are the patterns we're going to use to make the blade and the handle. So we now have 2 pieces of paper. They're a little bit thin and flimsy to use as patterns, so what I do is I glue them onto a stiff board. It could be a piece of Kydex. It could be a piece of fiber board that we use for spacing material. Something that's relatively hard, that can be cut and shaped relatively easily. The only careful thing to look at is that towards the back, leave a little extra. We're going to have to play with that part later. Otherwise, we're going to cut this out on the bandsaw, and then I'm going to grind the shape so we have two finished patterns.